works, wonders, and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's meet the change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow isn't no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay. It's another Thursday morning here on WEFM, which means that at this time we are going to be having Cop Chat. This morning for Cop Chat, we're speaking on the topic discipline, dedication, and duty, the training school experience. And joining us in studio this morning for that discussion, we have three gentlemen. Mr. Omar Thomas, who is a sergeant of police and a training officer. Mr. Ezra Muckett, who was awarded Best Recruit for 2025, and Mr. Rikimo Yearwood, who is an ordinary seaman number 15 in the SVG Coast Guard Service. Good morning, gentlemen.
And he was also second place graduate.
Yes, good morning.
Pleasant good morning to everyone.
Pleasant good morning to everyone as well.
How are you this morning? You seem a little bit cold. Is it the AC?
We're fine.
Okay.
I want to hear from them. How are you this morning?
Well, it's my first time being on radio, so I'm a bit tense and nervous. I still be expected.
Okay.
Well, I'm fine. First experience, but we got this.
Indeed. So before we go any further, what was the training school experience like? How was it?
Well, for me, I think it would have been a lot better. And it was my fault, really and truly. Because in training school, I was a big procrastinator. When it came to exams, preparing my uniform, I was one of the last, man.
Oh boy.
One of the last. We would get informed of an exam like 2 weeks prior, and I would wait until the night before or like the day before I picked up a book and started to actually do some revision.
You see me? I judge you not.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
I tell you, see me is people like you who I go to school with, who I would have problems with, right? Because you saying all of this and you still turn out to be best recruit. All right, so what was your experience like?
Well, for me, I'm not gonna lie. Training school wasn't really hard for me because it was something I'm accustomed to because I did auxiliary before at Coast Guard. So the experience was before. I did it before, so it wasn't really nothing to me when I went up to training school.
Okay.
It was something I was already accustomed to.
Okay.
So let's take from an instructor standpoint, training school was a handful. You had your good days, you had your bad days, but you just had to mix everything together and make it work, because there are goals you have to achieve, and you just have to keep at it consistency to make the dream work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's just take a quick step back though and introduce ourselves. So, right, you can start. So, Sergeant, you could start off.
Right, so my name is Omar Thomas. I'm a sergeant of police within the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I've been an instructor for the past 6 years. Before that, I've served in the band. I've served at outstation, Georgetown, Kittels, and so on. So, I have 19 years of service under my belt. Right, so it's been a very good experience so far.
Okay.
Well, I am Ezra Market, now police constable number 8. I am new to the whole policing experience, so I am looking forward to catching up to my sergeant and surpassing him in years. Can't leave him to extend the gap.
And can you state where you're attached? Because we used to that. Right.
I am attached to the Criminal Investigations Department at the moment.
Okay, good.
I am Ricky Moyewood. I've been attached to the auxiliary force at Coast Guard. Then I went training school and I'm now coming over into the police force. So this is my first time being a police officer, to say. I'm looking forward to do great things within this organization and see if I can better myself in a lot of ways to come. I'm looking to be the commander.
Come on.
Very soon. Not bad.
Speak it into existence, man.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so why police though? Of all the professions that you could have joined, why police?
Well, since I was a kid, we would have seen these guys riding around in the back of transports in the black uniform and and I would have, as a kid, I would have been like, I'll be one of them days. But growing up, reaching secondary school and upwards of that, I would have seen a different side to policing because I would have seen different situations play out. And in my head, I'm thinking, if I was a police officer, how would I have dealt with this situation? So, from since then, I'm no longer a kid. I don't want to ride around with big gun and back a transport. I'm now on the side of actually wanting to solve mysteries, going out, assisting people. Because policing is just more than the law, right? You will meet persons who require assistance, different than legal assistance. So I'm actually looking forward to it, and that's it.
Okay. Why did you, you first started as auxiliary in the Coast Guard. So why did you start there and why did you decide to actually become an officer, to go through a training school process?
Well, I was inspired. My idea was Coast Guard all the time. So I was inspired to join the Coast Guard by a genuine concern so that I could serve my country and protect those who are in need. And seeing the Coast Guard members and the way how they are dedicated and the impact they make in saving lives and protecting our nation, that motivates me as an individual to be something greater than apart from myself. So that's one of the reasons why I really chose Coast Guard.
Okay.
Yes.
And how are you? Well, you were already working with the Coast Guard before, but since you've trained, how are you enjoying your new duties as well as your officer here, as well as market? How are you enjoying your new duties?
Well, for me, it hasn't been really anything new. It's just things I've done before. So it's just all a refresher for me. So it hasn't really been anything hard to say. Just a refresher.
Well, unlike my colleague, I have met a lot of new stuff. So I am now having to adapt, per se, because I had no prior experience in policing other than when training school started. So now that I'm actually a police officer out in the world, things are different than in training school. So I'm now adapting, and I would say I'm getting comfortable as well at the department where I'm at, because when you start a new job, you're going to go full of nerves.
Yeah.
And so and I'm getting used to the people I'm working with, asking them questions constantly. I know they told me, but I have to learn the word party.
I don't think that they're tired of you because it shows that you're committed to learning and wanting to improve and to actually do your job properly. So ask the questions, ask them. Yes. All right. So Sergeant Thomas, as a training officer, I know that you said it was challenging, but tell us a little bit more about what officers actually go through during the training process.
Right. So during the training, firstly, this process is run for 6 months. Right. It gets more tedious from month 1 to 6. It gets more tedious. So we basically try to orient them from a civilian way of thinking into a more paramilitary way of thinking. We introduce them to a lot of different modules, things that will help to build them as an individual morally, build tolerance and all these, things that are basically required to be an efficient police officer. They are the core subjects, things relating to policing, the statement taking, the report writing, and all of these things. We even have, from a spiritual background, we have pastors and things coming in, so it's a full package. When you leave training school, trust me, once you accept this training, you should be a better individual all around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many persons started and how many persons passed out?
We started about 115 thereabout, and I think we just passed out 112, 130, and 130
Okay.
to be exact. Yeah.
Okay.
And some persons will fall by the way. Some persons will fall for one reason or the other. Some persons will fall by the way. Maybe discipline, because we are high on discipline. So if you can't meet that standard, you will have to go. Simple as that. Whether it's academic, whatever be the case, we have standards that you have to meet at the training school.
Okay.
So can you share some of the other reasons? Because I was going to ask, what are some of the reasons that will cause some persons to not make it to the end?
Right. So first, I should tell you, we tell you what is expected of you, and the onus is upon you to make that grade. So, for example, if let me use something simple as the passing grade of 60%. We teach you, we do remedial with you, we have tutorials with you, and if you can't meet that 60% passing mark, then you would have to go. Discipline, if we see you as a person that you're not willing to accept instructions and these sort of things, then we would have to let you go. But we try with you.
Okay. And you said that it's 6 months. It's 6 months every day, 5 days a week, or what's the days like within that 6 months?
Right. So for the first part of it, let's say the first 2 months, there's a sleep-in where we take you in and we house you for that 2 months. So you don't get to go home. Right? After that grueling 2 months, then based on how the course progress, you're then allowed to go on your weekends, provided again that you meet the requirements to go on your weekends. You're allowed to go on your weekends and you come back, and it continues until the end of the course. Yeah.
So how was that experience like though? Because I know you would have had your comforts of your own home, but when you have to go and bunk with or share a room with other individuals and all of that, how was that? And what, I suppose, long-term value do you see from gaining, from going through that process?
Well, it was that process. At first, I was very uncomfortable meeting new people, sleeping around new people. But then, now, let me drop the gun a little bit. Now that I'm working at CID, right, I'm comfortable sleeping at any police station because I would have already had the experience. Those are the sorts of things that training school prepares you for, right? Things that would have happened while sleeping in, like you would have met new people and new relationships would have been formed. Because I know I'm still in group chats with my course mates. We're still having a laugh, still having a blast. Relationships were formed that right now can't be dismantled.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
And Hayward?
For me, it wasn't really a problem because, as I stated earlier, I did a course before I actually went to the training school. It was basic seamanship course. So bunking with mates wasn't really new to me. We did that for a month and a week and some. So that was something I was already accustomed to. I met some new friends, I must say. Relationships that can't be broken. I must say I'm thankful for that experience in the training school.
Okay.
Sergeant Thomas, what are some of the changes that you've seen in the trainees over the years as you receive new batches from time to time? What are some of the perhaps the major differences that you would see with each batch?
Right. So we have had when recruits come to the training school, we basically select these people from all different backgrounds. Hence, sometimes when you have things like the lockdown, this helps with camaraderie. This helps with learning to get along with others and all these simple things. Some of these recruits come in with all sort of problems, and something as simple as can't even wash. You understand? And from inception to the time of passing out, these people learn to do so many things. They become, what should I say, self-compliant.
So there are washing machines at the training school.
Well, no need for that just yet. Because
They all wash their hands?
if you go on a mission in the hills,
And then cut them.
if you go in the hills, there are no washing machines. You understand?
Right.
So remember, we are preparing you for the job.
And for husband material. But
That's right. So when you hit an outstation and so on, if you hit an outstation and you're lucky to have a washing machine, so be it. But I mean, when you go, for example, we just had things like burial and so on. Police officers are deployed all over St. Vincent. You are expected to maintain your hygiene. So this is how we prepare you in training school. It's not sticking in the past or being back in time or anything, but we're just preparing you to be able to function effectively under deployment.
And I'm actually happy for that because I find for many young people or persons growing up now, the slightest inconvenience and they don't know what to do with themselves. Right? So, Corrigan, water gone, they don't know how to wash by hand anymore, so.
And we have seen also some recruits come in with bad temper. Persons who can't communicate properly, persons who are very shy. These are some of the problems we see in the recruits, and we would develop different things to help you. On morning, sometimes we give you a simple topic and we invite you in front of your peers to speak. Persons who you're sleeping with, persons who you're seeing every day, and get comfortable to speak. And sometimes the quietest of recruit, by the time training finish, man, they could stand in front of you and give you a presentation. Yeah, so we have different problems that we seen ironing out over the years. Yeah.
What's the gender breakdown like in terms of more females than males or more males than females?
More males. But that again is based on the requirements by HR. HR would always look at the staffing requirements and they would select accordingly based on the requirements.
Also, when somebody applies, is a filtering process of sorts. So
yes, please.
Okay.
So it's not to say that every training you will always see more males or you will always see more females. When HR look at what their staffing and what is required, they will do their recruitment accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a case for somebody who has applied who was not called. It's not necessarily a case where they didn't meet the criteria, but it's just probably that at this time they didn't make that final cut. Could that be the case?
That could be one of the cases, but then again, there are certain we do background checks. We do a lot of things before it actually gets to selection. So you just never know what may have been found out or something. There are a lot of requirements why someone may not be selected.
Okay. Okay. And what about in terms of mentorship? So during the entire training process, mentorship of older officers, did they come in and speak to them to tell them the realities of what being a police officer is going to be like?
Yes. So we have a lot of past retired officers who is coming from time to time and speak to the recruits on various topics. We also most recently would have implemented what we call an officer's visit at the training school, where all of the senior officers who head varying departments within the force presently will come in and they will interact with the recruits. They will, share a little experience with them. They will tell them, just basically encouraging them and helping them along. So if, for example, a recruit is there and he's thinking of working, let's say, narcotics, he may have a chance to actually hear from a narcotics officer, speaking to them and actually encourage them or pointing them to whatever direction they might have interest.
Okay.
So we have mentors.
Do y'all think that's, yeah, so just block out, talk on for a second, right? Do y'all think that's you got the raw truth behind what being policing is going to be like? That's a block
I
out,
would
Thomas.
say, so far, with my experience so far, I would say yes. Everything that they mentioned would have occurred.
Okay.
So I think they would have told us beforehand. They didn't hold back anything.
All right.
Me, I would say yes, because policing is not something easy. It's not just something you can pick up and do. The training is really needed, and I think I would say that the instructors did a great job in giving us the training that we need so that we can go out there and carry out the proper procedures as to how we go about doing things and performing our duties in a better way, I must say.
Okay.
So they really did a great job.
How has your position, your new police officers, how was that accepted in your family and in your community? Or what was the interactions like with you after your family and your community realized, oh, these are all new police officers?
Well, the interaction in my community, it seems that now everybody has more respect for me. Prior before becoming a police officer, some persons in my community, they will just pass you straight, not say anything. Even though I would be nice, I would say good morning, how are you? They would just go along the way. But now, what they know I'm a police officer, I don't even have to say anything. They would be like, morning officer, hello, how are you? So the new position has really changed the way people have seen me in the community. In terms of my family, my mother was very happy. She's very happy. And she does always make these small jokes with my little brother. Every time he does something wrong, she will tell him, I will call your brother for you.
You go lock you up.
So for me, I can remember when I first joined Coast Guard, my family didn't want me to be a police. They wanted me to be like a nurse or something like that. But I insist that I wanted to be a police. And now that I have graduated from the police training school, ain't nobody pro like them. And I asked them, y'all is the person who want to be a police. I know y'all is a pro. And like the people in my community, they look up to me now. The little boy they just see back then, they see me as a different individual. Just good morning, sir, how are you? Everything okay? Even little kids, officer, everything good? So yeah, that's it.
Right. So,
Good. It's good.
so you spoke about just a bit about how persons view you, but how do you view yourselves now? from the time that you started going through that process, how do you see yourself now?
Well, I see myself as a better individual. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that I didn't listen to them. I'm going to do something else. I feel like this job has more in store for me, and I could see my way doing greater things in this organization and making St. Vincent and the Grenadines a better place.
Well, for me, I am massively proud of myself. But with that also comes a big weight on my shoulders. Because now, I have to try and be one of the better persons in society. I can't lower myself to the standards of others. Because being a police officer now, people will look up to you, and any slight mistake you make, they would be like, but you're police. How you get that?
You get that all the time.
All the time. So it comes with a big weight on my shoulders, and well, it's a big change. I always have to be looking over my shoulder, wondering, should I do this? Should I do that? How would the public view me if I do this?
You're held to a higher standard.
I'm held to higher standards.
And that's a significant weight too, because remember, you're also an individual. You also have your own personality and everything. So you have to try to find a balance there, otherwise you will lose that sense of who you are as an individual. So,
although I'm my own individual, persons or the public will not view you as such. Police and general, they don't view you as such.
all right. Okay, go ahead.
Now, have you spoken to any of the older police officers, like when they come in to speak with you guys? Has this ever come up? The topic of balancing your individuality as well as who you are in your career. Have you ever?
Yes, the topic came up before.
Okay.
I'm trying to make my life more balanced. Like before becoming a police officer, I never used to go out, party, or never used to take part in leisure activities. I would just stay at home. Now, it's not going to make a difference. I'm still the same person, not going anywhere. So, and that's why, like, when persons saw me become a police officer, they were like, how are you going to become police? You don't even know people. Which is true. I don't know anybody. I would say anybody, but I don't know a lot of persons in my community. I'm always at home, not an outgoing person. So, in terms of balancing my life now, it's not going to be difficult for me. So.
What about you, Yod?
Well, I definitely have to balance my life because I have had a lot of friends who used to be, who is on the other side. And now that I've joined this organization, I'm not saying I can't be friends with them, but I have to know my restrictions. I have to limit myself from them. Correct. So now I have to shout them. I wouldn't hang around them as much as I used to do before. So that is a big balance. But I don't go anywhere, I don't party. I stopped doing that long time. I'm literally a homebody. All I do is walk home. That's just my life right now.
Two young men who are homebodies. Okay.
This is part of the recruitment process.
That's part of it. But what I can tell you also, when it comes to young people balancing their life as a police officer, this is, when it comes to achieving personal goals in terms of, let's say, studies, or maybe you might engage in sports, and these are things that the organization encourages. Once you put pen to paper and say, hey, I'm involved in this, and so on, they try their best to afford you that chance. It's not always about walk. So, the organization support young people who are involved in other things, to, as you say, create that balance. Personal venture I'm speaking about. Yeah, so it's something we support and we encourage.
Okay. From your vantage point, though, because you are older in the force than they were, not just age, but older in the force than they are, what advice would you give to them in terms of creating that balance? And as I pointed out, yes, they are an officer or they are police officers, but they also are individuals. So what is the best advice that you could probably impact to them in terms of how to create that proper balance so that they don't erode who they are as individuals?
Right. So I will start by saying self-preservation is first in every situation. And you would know that. Right? If you're not healthy in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, then you solve no purpose. You cannot help. You cannot extend that help to nobody. So when it comes to the organization now, there are personal goals you may have. There are personal things you may need to do that may enhance you as an individual foremost. I encourage you not to give up on those things. And for each individual, it may be different. Personal goals, whatever it may be, I encourage you not to give up on it. Always try to, invest a little bit within yourself. Maybe going back to evening classes, even if it means just taking a mini vacation or something, because as I said, if you create this balance within yourself and you're healthy in your mind, your being and everything, then this quite naturally will spill off into the organization. So don't ever give up on yourself, Always keep at it. While you push, I heard you mention earlier on, you ask a lot of questions. You're interested in the job. That tells me that you're interested, but you also have to be interested in yourself, Keep at your goal, be consistent, and everything will be good with you. Don't give up on yourself.
Yeah. And I think with those words of advice, we can take an ad break right here. And when we come back, listeners, if you have questions or comments, you can give us a call.
Thank goodness it's a sale of Courts. Don't miss the biggest sale of the year. 2 days only, October 17th and 18th. Get more with 30% off credit or 15% off cash purchases store-wide. 10% off laptops, cell phones and gaming, plus 50% off doorbuster deals. You don't want to miss these special offers. It's the biggest sale of the year, October 17th and 18th. Only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply. Do you spin a dial to make a call on your rotary phone from the 60s? No. Are you driving an unreliable and risky automobile made in the 1900s? Are you still fiddling with an antenna to get good signal on your black and white television from the 20s? Really? Then why are you still stuck in the past, sitting on an unintelligent 1930s design toilet? That's right, 1930s design. What does your bathroom say about you? Don't get left behind. The future is now. Be smart. Be progressive. Get yourself a smart toilet seat or a complete toilet today at one of our 4 authorized hardware stores. General Hardware, Gibson's Building Supplies, Lane's Hardware, or Minus Hardware. For more information, you can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website, justwashit.vc.
At Lynch Caribbean, yes, we offer comprehensive insurance solutions and broking, but we are more than an insurance broker. We drill down to your core business strategy. We keep a pulse on risk to keep your operations healthy.
On your mark, get set.
Along the way, helping you to drive competitive advantages. At Lynch Caribbean, we have your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300. Email info@lynchcaribbean.com or visit our office in Beachmont, Kingstown. Follow Lynch Caribbean SVG on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit www.lynchcaribbean.com.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of 2. No need to change machines, just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top-loading or front-loading, Whether you want a 9 kilogram or a larger 15 kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
WEFM, new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Something is wrong with the human race. I cannot say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make the change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is it no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
We are back with our Cop Chat discussion, and this morning we are speaking on the topic discipline, dedication, and duty, the training school experience. In studio, we have training officer Sergeant Thomas, as well as newly graduated police officers, Constable Muckett and Ordinary Simon Yearwood. If you have questions for the officers, you can give us a call, 457-9997. You can reach us through WhatsApp as well as through our direct line.
Okay, so we have a call, and there's a comment through it on the WhatsApp. Caller, good morning.
Ladies, good morning. I have a question here for the officers. Anyone can answer. If they spend 60 years in the police force, which I know they understand that, and you come out of the force, would you still be a police officer? Anyone can answer.
What do you mean, would they still be a police officer? If they come out of the force, would they still be a police officer? Explain what you mean. Hello?
Well, I wasn't tongue. Yes, you hear me?
Yes,
I wasn't tongue research I wasn't tongue research when I thought he was speaking when I was speaking about politics. I didn't call a name until where the person come from, but a policeman said he spent 34 years in the force, and then he passed, and then he meets us with the conversation, and he gives his representative some tongue lashing. So after that, we run in. I say, this is the police force. He said, no, I'm not a police officer. I spent 34 years in the police force, and I'm not a police officer. He said, no, yes, you're still a police. He said, no. He said, no. They only cease to be a police officer when they die. Once you get the training, you're a police officer. So that's why I say, actually, the officers are in that. So they can respond and tell me if that is true or false.
Okay. All right. So you mean training that they receive for lifelong experience or something?
That is it.
Okay.
You're still a police officer.
Oh, okay. All right. So they answer. All right. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Well, in that sense, point taken. I mean, if you spend 5-6 years as a police officer, the training you would have received and everything, I mean, quite naturally, you should take those life lessons with you so long as you live. So in that sense, I agree with him.
Okay.
But from the last standpoint, you have ceased to be a police officer once you resign. You're no longer vested with the actual powers of a police officer.
Okay. All right. The course 42?
Course 42.
All right. So we have a comment here on the WhatsApp. So someone is saying, job well done, instructor. You have some excellent graduates. Congrats, graduates. You are now tasked with safety and security of your communities and country. Make them proud. do not ever be misguided. And I think this is a message directly to you. Don't abandon your friends. Try to get them to change their lives. Okay. All right.
What are some of the lessons that you learned from your peers? Because you were there being trained by these officers in the ranks or in the higher ranks. But there are things that we also learn from the people around us and the people that we associate with. So do you have any of those lessons that you got from the other trainees?
Well, I had some very motivated peers. I remember when I wanted to be best recruit so bad. Like so bad.
Test. Look who's right next to you.
I'm telling you. And the fellas in my dorm, they would be like, yeah, Wood, you got this. To the point, I didn't even know he was in the race. Because they was looking at somebody else. So they was like, you ain't gotta worry, you're in front. So they used to push me every day. Even in the physical, I even came second for the physical. And nearly got best at physical. But he just threw me up by 1 point. And same with this guy again. So I must say I commend them for motivating me, giving me the opportunity to push myself. And it all paid off in the long run.
It's really good that they didn't take this jealous mindset, but instead they encouraged you. They didn't even try to compete or anything. They were saying, "Come on, we gotta push you forward." That was really commendable.
Well, the funny thing is, them guys, they was motivating me, but I was more of a motivation to them. Because when I do, say for example, we have exam, and I came first. The next exam, them guys want to come first too. So I was motivating them to push themselves as well. And I think they did great because one of the guys came third in my dorm and the other one came sixth, I think. So they did pretty well. Yes.
Well, each dorm had their own relationship. And in my dorm, there were a couple of the Coast Guard auxiliaries who came with him. And before the final results were displayed and we knew who became the best recruit, his same friends were telling me, we come from Coast Guard and you were my boy, but you are my damn mate.
Sell out.
You're my damn mate. So, I be on your side. You got this. Right? So, in my dorm, I was also kind of an inspiration because I was the best performer academically, never physically. I am not as fit as you would. Okay. When he could run 5 miles, I would drop him in the first mile. So, academically, I was an inspiration in my dorm. When exam time comes around, even though I don't pick up a book, the guys would be studying and they would ask me questions. So, if I can't answer a question, I would tell them, go to Sergeant Thomas or any other instructor. Okay. That's the best guidance they could have. So the teamwork in my dorm would always work together as a team. So if one of us was falling back or behind, we would try and help that person to the best of our abilities. We will not leave them for last. So
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. The animated spirit of a body of men.
So that again, what is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a legal term that we use to encourage, harmony, collective spirit, motivate each other, unity, everything. So,
is it Latin or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna adopt that for myself. All right. What through your training though do you think has shaped you most now for your professional life or the areas that you've gone into and you've been in before? So what part of training do you see actually being able to implement now that you are in your respective departments?
Well, now that I'm in the investigative department, for me, I would say it was learning all the offenses. Because each offense, you have to have points to prove.
Correct.
To prove that somebody actually did the offense. So, for example, theft. Theft is when you dishonestly appropriate goods belonging to someone else and you intend to permanently deprive them of it. So, when I'm investigating a report of theft, I can't say that this person is guilty of theft. Well, the court decided that, but I can't say that this person stole something when it belongs, because you have to have the point to prove that says it belongs to someone else. When it doesn't have an owner, maybe it belongs to the person. So I can't say he stole it. If he dishonestly appropriates it, that's a point to prove. If he did not dishonestly appropriate it, I can, it's not theft. Okay. So I would say learning the offenses prepared me for the investigative work. And with that, it also spills over in your statement taking. Because when you're taking a statement, you must have the points to prove in your statement. That's the offense.
Okay.
Well, for me, the part that shaped me the most to become as professional as I am today, I would say, is the emphasis on discipline and the importance of teamwork and the perseverance to work under pressure. This routine, I must say that it was very demanding, that it makes you carry out the level of professionalism that you must portray within your job. Not only that, you also have to thank the instructors, because while I was at training school, they would have set very high standards and motivated. Well, for me, my instructors motivated me and they pushed me to reach my full potential. I had this particular instructor that would have come to me every time before she leaves work, or if she is working, I had me recite my evidence. Not only my evidence to say, but exams as well. Whenever we had exams, she'll come to me, she'll say, it's either first or second. If you ain't come within those positions, she will punish me. Not in a bad way, but in a way that next time you know that you don't want to fall beneath those two positions. Not only that, I must say my peers as well. Teamwork played a vital role, because their support and let me just say their support and their motivation put me in a spot that you just want to do better. All in all, together they help me develop a level of professionalism and set a sense of duty that defines who I am today. So, yeah.
So he was speaking of our tutorial instructor. And funny enough, we had the same tutorial instructor. Mm-hmm. And on the course, we placed first and second respectively. So as you can see, she did an excellent job.
And speaking about instructors, so there's a comment here on the live from Shanda Nero. She says, instructors at training school, they have a unique ability to make complex topics easy to understand. Their passion for teaching and genuine interest in the recruits' success really stands out. They care not just about the material, but how we grow through it.
Correct.
Thanks for that.
That is so true.
That is so true. Because multiple times in class, we have different students who did not understand the topic, but the instructors found a way to break it down, even in more simpler terms. You can't leave a student behind.
Correct. At the end of the day, we want efficiency when you guys go out, Yeah, so we do everything in our power to ensure that each student come out knowing what they're supposed to know. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any characters, or is there any character trait in you that you would say has improved since you have been training?
Yes, my tolerance. My tolerance. Yes, I must say these recruits, when they now come, they will push you, they will suck every life out of you, but you have to be tolerant with them. There are times when you have to pull back and be a father figure, because when you hear some of these stories, like I said earlier on, these people come from all different backgrounds. So there are times when you have to take off the hard hat and you have to take a soft approach. You understand? But I must say, in terms of my trait, my tolerance, because these recruits will push you. You will tell them the same thing 100 times, and they will still do something different.
Oh, so here you have children.
But the good thing is that when they leave, they come out a better person, and that is what we are happy about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just on a point of correction, my mother is saying is Esprit de Corps is actually French, so it's French, so it means spirit of cooperation. So it's French, not
maybe our diction make it sound like that, but
yeah. No, but I had said it was Latin, so it's the correction is French. All right, so just that there to note. Okay, so as we end, all right. So just so I'm going to ask you first, the recruits who are now full-fledged police officers. What message would you have to young persons who are listening to this interview, viewing this interview, who may have aspirations of joining the police force, or just any sort of messaging that you have for young people on the whole in terms of, getting your act together, doing something productive with your life? What message would you leave?
I would say if you have the drive, or you have what it takes, or you think you have what it takes to join, you should join. Because especially if you're a kind, compassionate, or benevolent person, you should join. That's the kind of persons we are looking for in the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force. It is a career that I don't think you will get. It would be a new experience to a lot of people. As I said, new relationships will be found, unbreakable relationships. So far, I can attest to it being a good career so far. In the long run, I hope it will be even better. So as young people out there looking to become a police officer, take my advice and join.
Okay. Yeah. I advise to future recruits who wish to join the police force is you must be disciplined, remain focused on what you want to achieve when you join the police force. Embrace teamwork. Success in the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force and the Coast Guard service requires perseverance and the willingness to learn from your peers, instructors, not even your instructors alone, but other senior officers and members of the police force when you leave the police training school. Another advice that I would give is to maintain a positive attitude. Approach every situation or challenge with determination, and always remember that your commitment to the service will make a difference. That's my advice.
So I would encourage the young people to join. If you're passionate about helping people, if you're passionate about change, positive change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I would encourage you to join. There are lots of opportunities available by being a police officer. They are countless. You get to meet, by virtue of being a police officer, you get to meet from the common man on the street right up to the Governor General in some instances, and by extension, foreign diplomats. So it's not a bad career. You get to meet a lot of people. Like I say, opportunities, give it a shot.
Okay.
I would like to add one more thing. I would say once you get to that point in training, you have to come with a positive mentality. Don't come like I did, a big procrastinator, because it would eventually catch up on you. Everybody can't be the same. And also, physical fitness, when it comes to that point, like my friend here, I'm not very physically fit, but it also is a part of your grades.
And can I just slip in here and let the cat out the bag that these guys were so competitive that they are separated by point.
Okay.
point. Yeah, first and second place. Yeah. They were so competitive.
So much was 0.5, boy. Yeah, much was 0.5.
I would rather somebody beat me by like 5 points instead of 0.5.
All right, and I suppose you, I was to end with you. I guess you feel an immense sense of pride when you
Yes, I
see
do.
not just in your recruits, but persons who have passed through your hands who have attained certain ranks and certain positions, or certain things that they've attained while being in the force. So maybe just your final thoughts, right?
Yes, so I have seen persons at 5 years and they are now wearing chevrons who pass under my hands. And when I look at these people, I feel really, really, really proud. It's no longer back in the days when you see a man had to complete 10, 15 years before he's recognized. And that is just to tell you, once you come to the training school and you take your training serious and you go out there, you implement what you were taught, you implement what you were learned, you can be recognized. You can be recognized. So my encouragement to these young officers, finally, would be to remember your training and get a positive mentor within the police force. Get a positive role model that, when stress comes on, when you feel like giving up, these are the people you go to who will keep you fueled and who will keep you motivated, and you will be good. All right, so all the best in your careers, and I look forward to hearing good things from you guys. Even if I'm no longer in the organization, I look forward to hearing good things from you guys. Yeah. All right, all the best.
And with that, we have come to the end of our Cup Chat discussion. This morning, we were speaking on the topic discipline, dedication, and duty, the training school experience. We had in studio Sergeant Umaro Thomas, who is a training officer, Constable Ezra Mockett, who was awarded Best Recruit for this year, and Ordinary Seaman Rikimo Yearwood, who placed second. All the best by just a point. Really by a point. Enjoy the rest of your day and all the best as new police officers.
All right, thank you. Thanks very much.